Good morning. My name is John Perez. English A. University Utrecht. Level travel and tourism. More economical developed countries and less economical developed countries. This important classification the destination and traditional more economical developed countries and their infrastructure and factor support visit numbers, including countries in Western Europe, example Swiss, and North America and Canada, USA, Australia, and Japan. Factor example less economical developed countries in Ethiopia, Ecuador, Cambodia, tourists of countries and reserve of natural. Example destination attracting wildlife and natural from safaris in Tanzania and Kenya, Rwanda, rainforest tracking in Costa Rica, Ecuador, example of Galapagos, and glacier tours in Argentina, and countries related to historical culture, example Mexico, Egypt, and Peru. Peru, example of ruins of Machu Picchu and Incas. New industrial countries, and Brazil, India, China, important destination travel. People traveled whose subdivision are follows. Leisure travel, example on beach, Spain, Central America, important leisure tourist attraction, different activities, experience, break from their usually daily routine. Business travel and important global travel and tourism, industrial and marketing incentive, conference and exhibition. Example, tourism, scientific, academic, work, business, tourist, college, university, big empress, job performance. Characteristic future of business travel is the fact employer will significant proportion of cost of travel and so business travels. Example of Ecuador, Guayaquil City, and tourist business travel. Visit friends and relatives. More economical countries and less economical developed countries for international travel and visiting friends and relatives. Migration, more economical developed countries, migration, people working hours, their families at home, roaming, visiting friends, and less economical developed countries, visiting tourist activities of natural. Example, Example, travel, interesting activities, medical tourism, um, example, cosmetic, Colombia, Ecuador, followed by a period of recuperation. Religious tourism, religious journeys, pilgrimage to destinations are such as Jerusalem, Lourdes, and Mecca. Adventure tourism adventure. Um, Example, trekking and jungles and mountains. Example of Nepal. Culture tourism, heritage tours visiting, and sculpture of the cities such as Rome, Athens, Florence, and Venice. Example of Ecuador, Quito, Central Historic. Culture tourism, ecotourism, and to experience natural environment and wildlife in destinations such as Amazonia or Antarctic. Sport tourism sport, and the James FIFA World Cup and Olympic Games competition on Libertadores Games. Soccer, sport, tourists, different countries, events, health and spa tourism, visit of spa resort, health therapy, and treatment in luxuries. Special interest tourism include dark tourism, and the locations of former conflicts such as battlefields or concentration camps such as Auschwitz and Dachau, Judy are where second example. Slum tourism, excursion, improvised experiencing a country, real people and local culture. Example is favela de Rio de Janeiro, Colombia. Example, Medellin, cities, Comuna 13, example. Film tourism, specific culture tourism, films and television and series tourism. Example, New Zealand, USA, Hollywood, etc. Let's see. Charities, destination and attraction, apple to visitor, accessibility, build a natural attraction, good local infrastructure, good public transport, and connect public. Example, will attraction include church, museum, castle, theme parks, zoos, art galleries, teatros and cinemas. Natural attraction include national park, lakes, beach, forests, etc. Travel and tourism depend climate, culture, tradition, language, astronomy, dress, handicraft. Example, climates and the mountains, tourism and beach depends on travel as many in climates affects people. Culture, cities, for example, Quito, Central Historic, tradition, example, countries, the people, language, official language in 70 countries, gastronomy and food, different countries, specialists and drink and visitor traveling to place, food, local produce, handicrafts, events, exemplar art events, music, festival, event for sporting, attract visitor to a specific destination. Example sporting event, Wimbledon tennis championships, such as Olympic Games or UEFA Champions League football match, etc. History. Historical attraction and UNESCO cities offer historical attraction in Rome, Colosseum de Rome, example, architecture destination was interesting, such as Dubai, India, Burj Al Arab Hotel, the world's first 7-star hotel. Leisure activities. Different activities discover the best of Mauritius. They visit the decision canyoning, a mountain bike, and golf, and leisure pursuit the island beach for to its visitor. The travel motivation ability of one particular leisure activities within a destination. For example, visit the Bifangxi Panda Reserve in Yang in the Sichuan province of China. Or example, Ecuador, Galapagos, Turtle Marine. Important to understand accommodation used by tourists and their service and people and countries and cities, accessibility, classification standard for international travels and hotels and cities of leisure. Thanks. Gracias.